Hello, fifth graders. It's Mrs. SJ here. Wow, I appreciate all of you who have been here waiting patiently. Um, it is so great to see you guys. I noticed that some of you have discovered our live chat. Uh, Excellent. This is, really exciting because uh, we have a live chat as I'm teaching. So this is a way for you to interact with me. And also just to remind you that we are using our norms, having on-topic conversations of chat. Otherwise, we'll have to, just take a moment to, pause it, and next time we won't have it. So I can see a few of you are here. Welcome. Now, take a look. Today's informational lesson is continuing our conversation about systems. Now, last week we looked at the system of a printer. We talked about other systems that are out there and that you have noticed even in your own house. And particularly, we were talking about systems that were non-living. Now, before we go ahead and get started with our lesson for today, please make sure that you have your science notebook. And uh, I did post a graphic organizer on our Google Classroom for you to use during this lesson. So take a moment and locate that graphic organizer. That is going to be what we are taking notes and doing our writing in today. Now, we also, I want to note that I have been hearing some really helpful feedback from you guys, and I have heard that many of us are saying that I am going a little too quickly for us. So just to remind you, you can always pause and pause the live video, or if you're watching this afterwards, you can pause it to take detailed notes. I am not expecting you to be able to take notes as fast as me, okay? However, I am expecting you to do what you need to do so that you can get these notes taken. And part of the process of taking notes is helping ourselves remember the content that we're learning for the day. Now, we are going to begin our lesson momentarily. We are answering this question right above it. Say it with me. Is the Earth a system? And today's I cans, which is kind of like giving away if it's a system or not, and give me like I kind of already knew Earth was a system. Give me I still have so much to learn and I'm so excited for this lesson. And if you are saying Earth is not a system, I am going to respectfully disagree with you, and we are going to tune in and see why. So look at our I can for the day. Read it aloud with me. I can identify the components of Earth's subsystems. Now, Earth, we're standing on it. We're here. Look around. Is the Earth a system? Now, this is a really important piece to consider. Is Earth, some of us might think that Earth is not a living thing. Some of us might disagree that Earth is a living thing. But regardless, I want us to consider how important it is for us to come back to our words that we took note on and our very first science lesson from Tuesday. So before we're going to answer this question, we need to double check with our definitions to see if in fact Earth is a system. Well, a system is a collection of interacting parts that work together to make a whole. Does Earth have a collection of interacting parts that work together? Does Earth have subsystems? If Earth is a system, are there subsystems? And a subsystem is a system, and I added some extra details here. A subsystem is a system that works within another system. And reminding us of what a component is. Well, a component are the parts of a system. Now, if you've been thinking, yes, 100% Earth is a system, give me a connection, and we are going to dive into all of the specific components of Earth's subsystems. But first, we need to really consider what the subsystems are. Now, what subsystems can be found on Earth? Well, when I think of subsystems, I think of systems within a system, right? Earth is pretty big. There are lots of different parts that work together. And really, these different parts are subsystems. And so if we look at a globe, okay, if we're looking at a globe, I want you to consider, and I'm going to give a little bit of think time for you to consider, what are the different subsystems that might be working together on Earth? Give a little think time. Well, when I think of subsystems, I absolutely think about the land and actually like the environments and the ecosystems, right? I'm also thinking about water. We have a lot of water on this gorgeous planet of ours. I'm also thinking about not just what's on the ground, but what about the atmosphere? What about our weather? Is our weather a system? So, without further ado, I'm going to try something kind of exciting. And we are going to do a little bit of note taking here. So, I'm going to give a minute for you to either get this graphic organizer tended to, or you are making your own quick chart to take handwritten notes with. Now, I do notice that there are quite a few of you chatting in our live chat, which is exciting. I also want to note that absolutely our writing group is going to be a tad later because I'm running a little bit behind today, and that's okay. We're going to still make it work with one another. So let's take a look at this graphic organizer here. We have Earth's subsystems. Say these subsystems with me. We have geosphere. We have hydrosphere. We have atmosphere. And we have biosphere. Oh, I love these subsystems. These are truly incredible. Now, you should be able to see me typing here. Geo and sphere are two base words put together that absolutely tell us the meaning of this word. A sphere is exactly what it sounds like. It is a sphere. It is the circle of it's our sphere of the earth. Now, geo often means land, rock. So really this geosphere is asking us about the system of Earth's land mass and rocks, right? Rocks are part of Earth. When we look at hydrosphere, hydro is a root word for water. Think about when we say like hydrate. That means that you're making sure that you've got a lot of water inside of you. So our hydrosphere is for water. Okay. Our atmosphere, you guessed it, it is air. And biosphere, when I see the word bio, I think of like biology and all of these other really incredible things. And so absolutely bio has everything to do with life on Earth. Now, when we're considering subsystems within Earth, we're constantly asking ourselves, okay, well, where is this subsystem located? what are the parts that interact with each other in that particular subsystem, and what is the purpose? Remember, we always talk about a function of a subsystem. This does not change it, even if it is a living subsystem or a subsystem on Earth. We have to consider why. Why is it here? Okay. So when we're looking at our first geosphere, Earth's landmass and rocks, well, consider. Let's see if I can take a look. And does anyone have an idea of what are some parts? I'm going to look at our chat here and see if anybody is able to chime in. Excellent. I see some of us have located the chart. Wonderful. So I'm going to keep my eye on the chat so that if you are chiming in and have an idea of what we can write in here, you can go ahead and type it in the chat. Okay. Also, let's continue. So while I'm kind of looking around and seeing if anyone has anything to add, we're gonna keep on going. So absolutely, when we think of geosphere, we think of like mountain ranges, mountains, canyons. Think about the Grand Canyon, beaches, right? In fourth grade, we talked about the different parts that make up California's regions. We have our coastal regions, we've got our mountain regions, we've got our deserts, right? Desert region, deserts. We also have valleys, right? And so when I think of canyons, this could even be have valleys as well. And these interacting parts that work together are so interesting. So many of you might be thinking, well, Ms. Shanker-Johnson, if this is the geosphere subsystem, all the parts that work together, consider. We learned about rocks, the rock cycle. So rocks, the rock cycle. And not just that, but soil, right? We know the different parts that make up soil as well. We know that there's humus in soil, along with so many other things. We've got clay and other rock pieces. When we think of geosphere, the land and interacting parts, well, we know that the Earth's surface has tectonic plates, and this is also what causes earthquakes, right? Or even volcanoes can cause tectonic plates to shift. So we have tectonic plates. Excellent. Now, when we think of the reason why we have a geosphere, well, really think about all of the things that come from the land. These give us natural resources, not just humans, but also consider all of the natural resources that animals need to survive, things that produce oxygen that makes Earth livable, right? Let's move along. I'm keeping an eye. It looks like I don't see that many more people typing in the chat. But that's okay. We're going to keep it moving. We have next our hydrosphere. So consider we've got so many things have to do with water. We have absolutely oceans, rivers. What about lakes? Gosh, even I would say like natural occurrences, like some of us might have noticed this morning there was some mist coming down from the sky. Heavy mist is rain, right? We have rain and mist and all of these other things. Wow, this is also a big piece, something that we've been talking a lot about as it relates to climate change, is glaciers, ice caps. The polar, we have like not even just the polar ice caps, but I think of like when people are going and sailing into the ocean, you've got to look out for the parts of the glaciers that have broken off and then become icebergs. Okay. Now consider how these things interact with each other. Well, when we're looking at things that interact, we have to consider that oftentimes oceans and, really, I'm hoping many of you are thinking back to our very awesome play, A Rock's Journey from fourth grade, and what happens when water is moving through things constantly? Well, erosion, right? There are things that become eroded. We know that through the process of erosion, we have deltas, right? Deltas are, we have deltas here in the East Bay. We've got, if you look at deltas, deltas can be easily made, if there's rain and it's going down a mountain, you'll see different parts of it are being eroded into different, you know, uh, formations of water. And lastly, really, the interacting part of this water is that the water is key to life, right? So the water allows things to grow. And the purpose of this is that we are helping everything grow and thrive. It provides and sustains life, okay? So it really, sustains everything that we need at this point. So it provides um, and sustains life. Okay. And like I mentioned before, it helps things grow. Okay. Now, because we're running low on time, I am going to save atmosphere and biosphere for next time. If you would like to go ahead and try and fill it out to the best of your knowledge and just taking a good guess, that would be amazing. And then you will bring this with you to our next informational lesson. So that is going to conclude our science lesson for today. I hope that you take care. If you are in Writing Group C, I will see you shortly on our Zoom class. Otherwise, I will see the rest of you at our closing today. Bye, kiddos.